Cisco Connect TPE 2019。本活动即将于5分钟后开始，请各位来宾尽快入座。今天的活动时间为上午9点15分至下午5点20分，各位来宾可参考荧幕上的活动议程。报到时所领取的识别证上有您的专属 QR code， 麻烦各位全程佩戴，以便进出活动会场。提醒各位来宾点选票卡背面的问卷连结，只要您完整填写活动问卷，持上午尊爵贵宾证来宾可于上午议程结束时，凭填写完成的画面或识别证 QR code 及您的识别证至报到处，我们将制在您上午尊爵礼 Cisco 尊爵单肩包一个。持全日尊爵贵宾证来宾可于下午活动结束时，凭填写完成的画面或识别证 QR code 及您的识别证至报到处，我们将制赠您全日尊爵礼 Cisco 尊爵后背包一个。凡参观20个赞助商摊位和思科馆摊位，并完成摊位集点，可于会扣至大会服务处兑换 Cisco Umbrella 一支。同时，为了维持会议的品质，请各位来宾将您的行动电话改为震动模式或是关机，谢谢。
In today's cloud-connected world, the way we work has changed, but security has not. When over half of the PCs in most organizations are mobile, you need to protect your workforce wherever they access the internet, not just when they're in the office. And consider that over 70% of the malware seen this year has been unique to each organization. You can't just detect malicious payloads. You need to identify attacks as they are staged on the internet so you can block them before they launch. Cisco Umbrella is a cloud security platform that provides the first line of defense against threats on the internet. Umbrella is built into the foundation of the internet and delivers security at the DNS and IP layers. With Umbrella, you can stop phishing, malware, and ransomware earlier, identify already infected devices faster, and prevent command and control callbacks from exfiltrating data. By processing billions of requests each day, we identify patterns to automatically uncover attacker infrastructure and block requests, even before the first victim is hit. With 100% uptime since 2006 and no added latency, Umbrella provides complete visibility into internet activity across all locations, devices, and users, categorized by the type of cloud service, web content, or security threat. You can even identify targeted attacks by comparing your blocked requests to the rest of the world's. You can then query Cisco Umbrella Investigate to gain additional insight into the attacker's infrastructure and see the relationship between domains, IPs, and malware. Umbrella also has pre-built integrations with your existing security solutions. Using APIs, you can send malicious domains from those systems to Umbrella and block them globally in a matter of seconds. So join the more than 12,000 businesses who rely on Cisco Umbrella and stop threats earlier.
Most people know NASDAQ well in the United States for powering the NASDAQ market here. Globally, we have a much bigger footprint, and we power over 90 markets with our technology worldwide.
Our footprint, it's in the thousands of servers, on-premise, cloud. I think more importantly, our footprint is the number of different technology stacks that we have.
Some of the technologies that we are integrating currently are blockchain and the underlying tenets of blockchain, as well as machine learning, machine intelligence, and artificial intelligence across all of our lines of business. Prior to having the notion of business transactions, we were essentially in the dark and looking at things more from a technology perspective and with fragmented URL monitors as well as base level OS and other system monitors. Since we've had App Dynamics in place and had the notion of business transactions, it's created a one pane of glass experience across development and operations to truly understand what customers are experiencing and how the system is performing. And it's made it much more rapid in being able to resolve issues.
You'll see more adoption of the cloud, and especially the rapid pace of deployment or continuous delivery, continuous integration, leveraging technologies like microservices, which require real-time monitoring, better metrics collection, and data points to work with the business. With App Dynamics, it provides data points from user sessions to performance data, make us look at the platform as a whole and how that's being consumed.
We're very excited about evolving cloud architectures and technology and how that can drive our business into the future. Having App Dynamics in place has really changed how we work, both in terms of implementing new infrastructure or releases and troubleshooting issues. When you have an issue, it tends to be chaos, and it can even be miscommunication and finger pointing. And having one system that shows end-to-end what is happening really removes most of those challenges. Our customers want the flexibility to deploy in public clouds, private clouds, or hybrid infrastructures. And we need to evolve our applications to deliver that.
Having the right tool, especially an innovative one such as App Dynamics, really brings us closer to our transformation journey.
Cisco Connect TPE 2019， 现在正式开始。
Between what is hoped for and what can be, there's a bridge. Between the aspirations of a ball club and the greatest sports venue in America, there's a bridge. Between chaos and wonder, endangered and protected, there's a bridge. Built on technology that can solve, create, heal, inspire, and secure. A bridge. There from the beginning to where we stand today and where we will go from here. One company, one promise. If you can imagine it, we will build the bridge to get you there. Cisco. The bridge to possible.
感谢各位来宾在百忙之中拨空参加今天的盛会。活动一开始，首先让我们欢迎思科台湾总经理陈志伟为我们开幕致辞，请各位热情掌声欢迎陈总经理。
大家好，
好，
我是思科 George。首先代表思科欢迎各位来参加这一场年度的盛会，思科的嘉年华。各位， 6年了，6年了，我们再度把 Cisco Connect 搬回台北。你们的参与非常重要，这是一件不容易的事情，请给各位自己掌声鼓励好吗？其实，1984年，2位史丹佛大学的教授，只为了一个单纯的梦想，希望把整个校园做个连结，所以发明了全世界第一套 Multi-Protocol Router。也因为这样的发明，他成立了一家公司，就以我背后的这个旧金山著名的旧金山大桥为 logo。再把公司用 San Francisco 最后5个英文字母取名为 Cisco。从此之后，开启了网络时代的序曲，同时也奠定了现在万物联网的基础。从那时到现在，创新的 DNA 一直在思科人的血液当中。我们参与了非常多的数位转型。各个国家级的数位转型计划，我们都一一参与。西班牙巴塞隆纳、美国芝加哥、德国汉堡，到现在也即将落地台湾。因为我们相信，只要未触及的地方有科技的参与，所有可能性都会发生。让我现在来分享一段我们 CEO Chuck Robbins 的一段影片。请播放。
I think what makes us human is a kind of innate cosmic ambition, this desire to go beyond. We're creating multiple exabytes of data every day. It is the ability to make decisions and contextualize our world based on this data that propels our species forward.
Technology is fundamental in today's world. Sometimes we take it for granted, but it's what empowers us to make better, faster, smarter decisions. And all of this is only made possible by the network. How do we know this? It's because we built the internet, and now we're building it for the next 10, 20, 30 years. By creating a network that better eliminates the complexities and brings us greater opportunities. This is the new network we are building. It's a network that is built on a set of powerful human ideas. Everything should start with the right intention. What is it that you want to achieve? Intent allows us to translate business goals into action at scale by automating how we do things in minutes rather than weeks. This new network requires more context than ever before. More analytics and intelligence to turn raw data into insights. Knowledge about the world around us is extremely important. By identifying threats and opportunities and learning from each one, we can adapt quickly to achieve what we want. We can become intuitive.
We assess situations and make decisions based on context. We are distributed intelligence. That is what makes us human, and that is what makes technology fundamentally a part of our humanity.
We are defining an entirely new era of networking, making the impossible possible and the unsolvable solvable. A new network that will take your business to places you haven't even imagined yet.
We are the captains of Spaceship Earth. And where we go from here is up to us.
就如同我们 CEO Chuck 所说的，未来10年物联网的时代，它将持续带动科技的创新，企业转型的契机由此而生。但是大量的网络连结、设备联网所产生的事件复杂度与日俱增，如何化繁为简，来实现更多科技的未来，让我们所有的企业转型化为可能，我相信这是非常重要的课题。 另外一件事情，除了化繁为简之外呢，越多的科技参与，其实带来更多的便利以外，它也伴随着新一代的攻击。各位所熟知的 WannaCry、DDoS 的攻击，一而再、再而三的让所有人对于参与科技新的数位转型有更大的恐惧。但是这样的恐惧，在适度的调整，对的方法进去之后，不只可以运用科技，我们也可以强化资安之后，而运用的随心所欲，这也是要必须注意的地方。AI 人工智慧，乍听到这个，大家非常兴奋，等到了解到里面的深层内涵之后，又有一点害怕。但是 AI 人工智慧发展到现在，已经对企业的发展造成空前的冲击。你既爱它，又怕它。国际研究机构讲，2019年底，接下来一定会有142亿的设备连到网络上，到2021年更高达250亿个。这样庞大的资料，如果我们能妥善运用，也将是 AI 服务的关键。如何妥善应用这样大量的资料，收集、分析、学习，应用它变成有用的资讯，开发出新的商业模式，制定营运策略，我相信这也是企业成功另外一个转型的契机。综合以上这3个趋势，其实我要告诉各位的是，思科早就已经准备好，思科已经建构一个安全、智慧、稳定的平台，我们将带领你们到未来数位转型去。其实我们都已经做好准备。思科的转型策略有上述的这5个：一，众多的云 solution 当中，多云的环境里面，你如何选择对的云？在我们云的策略当中，不管是私有云、公有云，我们连接 AWS、Google、Microsoft Azure， 其实如何能随心所欲的转移、运用、营运，我们将带你到一个最佳状态。再往下来看，当 AIoT 的时代来临的时候，大量的资料，你是被淹没，还是灵活的运用？思科有完整的解决方案。思科有业界最强的 AI machine， 思科有最棒的 IoT 平台 Connect。当你运用得宜的时候，美妙的世界即将来临。再往下来走，刚刚各位有看到我们 CEO 所讲的意向式的网络，灵活、弹性，你如何随心所欲的应用，又保持弹性的调整，这是思科的强项，我们也将带你到那一个地方去。最后，没有资讯安全，所有的科技运用，所有的效果即将化为零。对台湾思科而言，我们已经在台湾建构了所谓的 IoT 检测平台。我们跟我们的合作伙伴一起建构 Cyber Range Threat Hunt Center。我们参与大大小小的资安事件，我们提供了解决方案，我们解决了所有资安的问题，我们消除了客户资安的疑虑。我们已经不只是网络的巨破，有了资安，各位可以随心所欲，安心的运用我们资讯科技。当然，最后，其实所有客户的感受、市民的感受、员工的感受，也是我们所注意的。当你运用先进科技的同时，你有没有把大家带领到更好的地方去？当你运用科技改善内部流程，你有没有产生新的营运模式，而 benefit 到你的客户？在台湾，我们成功的向我们的 Global 争取到数位台湾转型计划基金。台湾思科会一步一步的带领，不管是智慧城市、智慧建筑、 所有的 Smart 都会一一在台湾实现。讲了上述5个策略方向，我要告诉各位的是，如果各位看思科只是网络的巨人、网络的巨擘，我其实要告诉各位，我们是数位转型的专家，我们希望与你携手共进，将这个数位科技带进台湾。科技是变革的动力，也是奠定数位转型的基础。全新的网络需要安全的连结，这样才能承载众多且复杂的资讯在上面流动。我们正在定义全新的网络世界，我们正在定义全新的数位转型环境，解决我们过去所无法解决的问题，将所有的不可能走向可能。思科坚定创新，我们一直在努力。我们有信心，我们也邀请各位跟我们一起成就无尽的可能。最后，我要再次代表思科欢迎参与今天的盛会。各位知道吗？要在台湾办一个大型活动是非常非常不容易的。我需要各位的鼓励，思科需要的各位的鼓励与热情的参与。你们的任何意见，我们都非常欢迎。我告诉各位，如果我们办得好，给我们掌声；如果需要改进的地方，给我们意见。我们明年会办得越来越好，更往好的方向前进。在此，先预祝各位新年快乐，身体健康，也谢谢大家。祝各位今天玩得愉快，谢谢。
谢谢，我们非常感谢陈总经理为我们带来的精彩致辞，请陈总经理先行回座。接下来要进行的是我们今天的第1个议程，我们非常荣幸的可以邀请到国发会副主委郑珍茂来为我们分享全球经济关键趋势与数位创新。接下来就让我们以最热情的掌声欢迎郑副主委，欢迎。
陈总经理，还有远道而来的各位贵宾，大家早安。Good morning, ladies and gentlemen。你们一定会很奇怪，我为什么要讲2句英文哈？那you will be wondering why I speak English and Chinese at the same time。那是因为我今天来就是除了要讲这个数位经济的趋势跟发展之外。因为我们国发会现在正在推双语国家哈，所以到任何场合一定要溜2句英文。So we are pushing for the bilingual policy. So there's a reason I need to speak both Mandarin and English. But since I have only 20 minutes, 我只有20分钟 ，if I speak both languages at the same time, they would have to double my time and also double my payment. So 我现在开始就是回到这个中文哈。那其实站在这舞台上有面临很大的压力哦，因为刚才陈总经理用了很多的这个 video 哦，非常的动态。那拿一个麦克哦，不像我要拿很多支哈，所以我是比较传统的，他是比较先进的。那但是从这个我们2个的落差当中哦，大家也应该知道。现在要尽量在民间服务可能会好一点哈。那我今天要讲的一个主题哦，大概就有分为这几个：一个数位经济的一个趋势，还有国外的国家推动的政策。但最重要，我想大家最关心的就是台湾未来的发展方向哦。那首先我们来看这个数位的这个趋势哦，其实也不用我讲，刚才大家 video 已经看了很多了。那我用这几个最传统的方式来跟大家做一个分享。大家可以看到过去的生活，你是在厨房煮菜，现在你只要有一个 app， 你可以用这个外卖。那以前拦计程车，你只要路边，但是现在很少人在路边拦车了，大家都是预约叫车。对，你有一个行动手机，但是我最近发现手机叫车也不太方便，因为大家都在早上7点钟上班的时候叫车。 所以有时候要加点钱才比较容易叫得到车。那以前大家都在看电视，你一个遥控器这样一直选几百台让你选。现在大家发现这样的一个看电视的节目非常没有效率，因为现在是电视要配合你，你想要看什么样的节目，你就可以在网络上面来看，用手机上面来看，而且随选随看。那影音的这个串流现在变成一个主流，所以我发现以前在做捷运的时候，大家都是无所事事，现在看捷运里面每个人都是低头族，所以这变成是一个时代的一个趋势。那过去我们很仰赖现金，现在大家出门都不带钞票，现在大家都用行动支付，对，那变成一个问题。以前大家可以看到说有一些人临时缺乏现金，比如说你坐公车忘记拿这个叫人家借你几块钱买个车票，现在也不用了，现在借一下手机逼一下就可以了。所以现在手机变得越来越重要，大家不能随便把手机借给别人了。那你也可以看到现在的一个网络的一个关系现在人如果没有参与我上面所讲的这些，LinkedIn、Instagram、YouTube、Twitter、Facebook，你大概就应该是一个完全没有社交生活的人，你也不晓得世界长得什么样。现在连小学生都知道看 YouTube，那现在很多的学校的一些功课。甚至也是利用这些网际这个软体一些 APP 作为老师跟学生的一个互动，所以现在教学也不完全是在教室，是随时随地都在做教学。那我们可以看到，就是从这几个方向来看的话，我们可以看到未来数位化的一个时代，包括这个自驾车，这个是所谓刚才就局所讲智慧化。那我们还有看到数位化，比如说我上面所讲的这个孪生的这个数位孪生，还有边缘运算，还有沉浸式的体验这些东西，所以甚至我都有点怀疑，在座的各位，你们是不是本人来参加了，还是你们只是用一个数位的投影，把你们的影像投影在座位上，代表你们有在出席？那甚至我现在站在这个舞台上，现在看起来是这些。但是如果这个数位的时代来讲，大家知道现在很多的视讯会议，对不对？那我们看的视讯会议都是说你在你的办公室，我在我的办公室这样看。但是我们为什么不能利用 AR、VR 把我们的场景做一下转变？对，我为什么我的背景一定是要办公室的背景？我的背景为什么不能是一个咖啡厅的背景，或是一个洗三温暖的背景？比如说我跟你，我们要来交心。所以我的背景也就视为我在这个三温暖，然后你就觉得我讲话一定是很真诚，对。但是其实我是在我的办公室，对不对？所以很多的想象有无限的这个可能。那更不要提这个区块链跟智慧空间。我前一阵子参加中研院的一场演讲，在听到这个以后这个半导体的未来，我们看到以后科技的未来，对，一个资料。你要更多储藏资料的这个空间，另外一个是运算能力会越来越快。比如说现在还有很多的这个量子这个电脑，当然没有很多了，现在只有几台而已。但是以后在量子电脑的这个时代，运算的速度又比现在多了不知道几千万倍。所以过去大家在讲很多这个密码学，很多这个虚拟化，很多这个代码技术是没办法破解的。但是我用最笨的方法，用每个可能性一一的试，但是只要我的运算能力够快的话，我还是可以在很短时间就来破解。所以运算能力的强大，云端资料的储存，让很多过去不可能的事情都会变成可能。那这样对我们来讲，就是刚才就局所讲的，一方面我们现在很方便，对不对？我们的手机拥有无限的 power， 但是我们的手机你不需要去按很多的字母。对不对？你只要用一个一指神功就可以搞定，甚至有些人现在连一指神功都觉得太麻烦，用语音的系统就可以搞定你的电脑。对，所以对使用者来讲越来越方便。可是对使用者来讲，他所忽略了就是说，在这个便利的后面，其实掩藏了很多的技术，隐藏了很多资讯安全的这个风险。那这张图在讲，就是过去1995年。 前10大公司，美国那个资本市场前10大公司的市值，我们可以看到只有 IBM 算是科技公司，但到了去年来讲，前10大公司有5家是科技公司。那甚至这个排名第5的，大家知道股神巴菲特，他最近也开始改押这个苹果电脑。当然，我不评论他的这个有没有赚钱哈，这个我不评论短期，但是大家可以看到未来的趋势就是一个数位化的一个趋势。那我们看很多国家在推这个政策的时候，几乎全世界都在推数位化的一个政策。比如说我们这个上面看了那么多国家，那对我们来讲，对台湾来讲，我们看到别的国家在做这些动作的时候，我们会有什么想法？第一个，我们一定会做比较，对不对？比如说大家现在最耳熟能详的一个爱沙尼亚，它的一个数位的一个身份证，那你的公司当然要去做登记，那你的国外的这个游客要到当地去旅游，要去当地洽公，都可以在线上搞定所有的一切。对，那我们问我们自己，台湾现在可以做了这样的一个程度吗？对，比如说现在我们在推这个智慧的政府，我们希望结合这个数位的 New EID， 还有甚至将来的这个健保卡，很多的资料能不能做一个整合？但是马上面临的大家所担心的，就是一个资料它的安全性的一个问题。那我最近参加了很多座谈会，大家在讲 Open Data， 所以一方面大家要求政府要把所掌握的很多数据来做公开，可是一方面又有民众担心这些资料的所有权到底是属于谁的？是属于大众的？是属于商业企业的？还是属于民众个人所有的？所以如果不把这些问题做一个厘清，那政府在推动很多这个数位政策上呢，就会遇到很多的一个瓶颈。所以最近我们也在开始做一些教育，就是教育民众要对你的资料的这个权利你要有所掌握。一旦民众知道你所拥有的这个资料权之后，你才能够去想到这个资料应该要如何运用。那这个都是很多新的这个课题啊。那我们可以看到，在智慧城市的应用也是一样哦。大家可以看到，现在有很多安全监控的智慧交通智慧医疗、远距离的这个医疗的手术，那还有水资源很多的这个监测那现在最夯的就是智慧停车那将来还有很多的数位经济，那将来很多这个智慧电表、智慧路灯等等。我们顺便再做一下政策宣传。大家知道，在这个5+2的产业政策里面。我们国发会负责的是一个叫做亚洲点矽谷，那亚洲点矽谷里面就在含这个物联网AIoT， 还有所谓的智慧城市那我们看了非常多的案例。那在我们这个亚洲点矽谷我们有几个政策目标，其中一个政策目标就是我们希望在未来几年内能够把台湾的这个 SI 系统整合公司能够推向国际，能够到东南亚国家所以我们做了这个智慧这个系统整合，做了这个物联网。我们并不只是想在台湾发展，我们想要去进军国际。但是当我们要推我们 SI 公司到东南亚国家的时候，我们去做当地的一个 survey， 我们发现每一个城市现在都在智慧停车，每个城市都在智慧交通，每个城市都在这个行动支付。所以那我们的厂商在这样一个条件之下，如果我们没有 local 的 connection， 如果我们拥有的只是我们这个智慧的这些技术，我们又如何能够 penetrate 到当地的一个市场？所以在这里面，我们的一个主要的策略就是要结合大的国际的这个企业像思科像很多的其他的跨国公司，他们有国际的平台的资源，有国际的很多这个当地的一些政府的人脉，我们希望借重他的人脉来帮我们的企业打进当地的一个商机那我必须要讲，明年我们有一个很大的挑战，就是我们希望明年在台湾自驾车就可以上路所以现在我们在做的都是这个场域的实验，那明年我们要让它上路上路当然 有各种可能性啊，所以我们现在就要预先的来做很多的这个参与啊。那接下来我们来看这些主要的国家看这个美国它的一个科技的政策，大家可以看到这些，我就不一一的这个叙述当然它可以看到它主要就应用在科学、医药跟这个通讯的领域所以大家常常在讲，就是说未来一个人才的一个栽培所谓的 STEM 的人才，就是 Science、Technology， 还有 Engineer 跟这个Mathematics 对于这样的一个人才，那我们台湾的态度又是怎么样？所以待会我看到今天的议程有我们陈升伟老师，他可能会对 AI 台湾人才培训有一些说明。那我们看英国脱欧现在闹得沸沸扬扬，但是也不要忘记，在脱欧之外，英国现在也在推展这个数位化的一个政策希望到2025年，它的总产值能够达到2000亿英镑那我们看日本是很多机器人这个非常流行的一个场域那你可以看到它也在推动很多的沙盒的一个机制，那人工的一个运用那我们台湾现在跟日本也有很多在智慧医疗上有很多合作的这个方案那接下来最重要是来看台湾我们可以看到这边来讲的话，就是我上面所讲的上面最尖的那个这个就是亚洲点矽谷，那这个就是国发会现在所负责的一个方案那为了让大家加深亚洲点矽谷我给大家几个简单的数字我们的目标就是1、2、3、4、5、100那你会想1、2、3、4、5、100是什么？那这个太多不好记，所以4你就把它擦掉，就没有4我们中国人讲吉利那什么叫1？我们现在有一个数位学院这里面的数位学院包括所谓的 ABCD 这些所谓大家关心的人工智慧、区块链等等这些新的技术都可以在线上来登录做线上来学习目前为止有7万多个的人已经来使用，那我们觉得7万多的太少了，而且提供课程的都是著名的学校、著名的这些外商的这个机构，甚至思科也有提供课程在这里面。数位学院欢迎大家来使用。那什么叫做2里面就是我们希望在亚洲点矽谷计划里面引进2家国际型的这个大厂来台湾设研发中心所以像我们看到这个 Google， 像微软，那思科就是现在也是我们希望把它拉进来的所以刚才他在讲这个 Connect 每年都要办，那我们觉得除了每年都要办之外，基地也要设在台湾我知道现在桃园市政府正在跟思科在洽谈，我们希望很快的这个基地就可以完善，所以将来大家到这个桃园看棒球的时候，思科的服务就会在棒球场里面所以即便你坐顶楼，那个打击者影像只有一点点，但是你透过 AR、VR， 透过这个物联网的技术，可以让你看清楚每个选手而且可以像看电玩一样，选手出来的时候，你按一下，你就可以知道这个选手的背景资料，他的打击率，他上垒的几率有多少，他使用打带跑的策略是什么。所以看棒球变成是在现场的欢呼声加这个技术给你的一个辅导那当然希望以后那个买饮料也更方便一点那这个都是那我刚才讲了1、2、3、4、5、100那3就是我刚才讲，我们要推出3家系统的这个厂商，协助工业厂商到国外去打天下。那我们的100是什么？我们希望在3年内协助100家新创的企业，每一家企业这个所谓新创企业取得至少200万美元的这个新创的投资的一个金额，200万美元就是6000万台币目前已经有30几家。所以我在这里呼吁，就是说，如果大家需要资金的协助，我们有一个国发基金，那钱非常多，就怕投不出去，所以欢迎大家来申请。那这是100，那5的是什么？最后一个5，就是我们希望在2020年、2025年的时候，我们台湾这个所谓物联网的产值占全世界的产值，能够达到5%。那在我们开始这个计划的时候，在2017年的时候， 我们的产值大概在3.2，那目前我们已经达到4.2，所以我们还要继续努力。那大家可以看到，现在这2天大家在讲这个5G 的一个生活，那5G 来讲就是下一个世代整个生活的一个转变。那这里面大家会非常担心的，除了这个速度，那除了这个基础的建设的这个投资，这些都是非常巨大的一个投资。但是像刚才就局所讲的，这个治安的问题，对，像我现在个人来讲，现在上网我变得非常谨慎小心，我都用公司的资源上网。为什么？因为公司会有很多这个防毒软体，你如果上了不该上的网站，他就会给你警告说这个网站不安全。对，那家里的电脑可能不会装那么多防毒的软体，所以第一个尽量用公司的网站来上网。第二个，变成说很多的你在家里你会担心很多这个 phishing， 很多这个病毒的入侵。可是现在在这个物联网的时代，如果每一个 connection， 比如说你的手机也是一个 connection， 那你的电视也是一个 connection， 那你的电脑也是一个 connection， 将来你的家电也都是 connection， 你的电表也是 connection， 所有这些东西，那以后的自驾车也是一个 connection。如果这个当中发生了什么治安的问题，大家可以想象那个后果是非常巨大的。所以唯有确定安全，我们才能往前走。如果不安全，我们这一步就踏不出去。所以在治安的投资，可能是很多企业在决定要做数位化的时候，这一部分一定要同时考虑进来，不能只为了说我现在要做数位化，我就投资下去。那至于防毒的，就说这个是 cost， 我就尽量不投资在上面。这是不行的。那对于我们台湾这个小的国家来讲的话，当然，我们是不是要投入那么多的资源在 infrastructure 上面？还是我们应该学习像现在很多的一个平台，我们尽量去善用这些平台。我们要的是一个智慧的一个应用。我想这些问题都可以给大家来深思。那像我讲的，明年就是一个实证的地方哦。那我相信明年来讲，明年思科明年在这里在办的时候，我相信这个邀请来的政府官员，应该这个要有更先进的设备。明年这2样应该都不用了。明年应该就是一个动态。明年就算我再来，我一定会把我的 PowerPoint 变成一个动态的。那最后就是应用是无限的可能，但是要如何应用还是系乎人心。所以我自己现在想到就非常多的应用。那我相信在座的各位，你们也想到非常的应用，但是要怎么把这些应用化为实际的可能性，你还是要知道资源在哪里，那工具在哪里，善用资源，善用工具，才会让你的梦想来实现。最后就谢谢大家，祝福大家今天的这个演讲圆满成功。各位企业宏图大展，猪年行大运。然后现在非洲猪瘟还是要做政策宣导不要引进，不要带猪肉进来。好，最后祝大家身体健康，万事如意，谢谢。
谢谢，我们非常感谢正副主委为我们带来的精彩分享。接下来，让我们邀请到 VC Co-Partner SVP IT and CIO International Cisco Systems 来为我们分享 Transformation through Innovation 数位翻转，创新无尽。Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to welcome VC， 请各位热情掌声欢迎 VC。
Now? Oh, okay. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's a privilege for us to be here in Taiwan for Cisco Connect 2019. It's really an extraordinary time for us to be alive. It's really an extraordinary time for us to be a human being. And it's really an even more extraordinary time to actually be associated with the technology industry. because technology today is changing everything about the way we live. And if you think about it, you know, mankind has been on this planet for, I was told, a little over 120,000 years. And almost 99% of everything that we know today and everything that we use today was invented in the last 200 years of our existence. And 99% of what we will know in the year 2050, and hopefully most of us will be around at that time, will be invented between now and 2050, which essentially means the speed with which everything is happening today is just scary. Never before in the history of mankind have so many different technology transitions occurred at the same time as they are doing today. Whether it's in collaboration, whether it's in security, whether it's in analytics, whether it's in networking, whether it's in cloud, all those changes are happening right now. And like I said, the speed is just scary. I don't know how many of you watch movies, but there was a movie that was made in 1982 called Blade Runner. How many of you have seen that movie? 1982. There's a newer version now. I'm talking about the original one. And in 1982 in Blade Runner, they talked about a scenario in the year 2019 where a few technology things would happen in the world. And those were things like video-based telephony, screens on which you can project images, digital screens. It talked about video surveillance on things that fly, right? And a lot of those things actually occurred in 2005. I think Cisco introduced the IP phone about 12 years ago. Digital signage is everywhere. Drones are flying all over the place, causing airports to shut down and so on. But the fact is, a lot of that was supposed to happen in 2019, happened about 12, 15 years ago. In 2010, a news came out that the city of Amsterdam was going to deliver 1 gigabit per second to the house as part of a broadband connection. And that happened 5 years ago, which basically means that whatever the technologists and scientists say will happen in 20 years will actually end up happening in the next 5 years. So that's the world that we live in today. And therefore, technology is really at the heart of everything, and every company is becoming a technology company. And if you really think about where the future of the IT industry is going, here are some things to think about. I think in the first video, the opening video, we heard about intent-based networking. Ultimately, it's about intent-based enterprises, which is really focused on the business outcomes and the how, not the what or the why, because that's context. Intent-based enterprises are the way to go. I think we'll hear from our friends at Intel about artificial intelligence and machine learning, and the fact that everyone's talking about how human beings are going to go away and all the machines are going to take over. It's just my theory that mankind will never go away. You will always need human beings to program machines, and you will always need human beings to make the EQ part of the decision-making, which machines cannot. We are always one step ahead of the machines. So when you go home, you give your teams a hug and say that your jobs are all secure. Just use AI and ML to actually make your jobs better. And that's where we are headed. Security is going to be ubiquitous. Security is going to be pervasive. Everything that we do will have security embedded in it. And ultimately, it's about the customer experience. If the customers don't use our products, our services, and our solutions, and they don't like it, they're not going to adopt it. At the end of the day, everything that you put out as a technology service provider has to be designed outside in, which means the customer comes first. Data is everywhere. We talked about exabytes and terabytes and gigabytes, or whatever bytes of data that are out there. Ultimately, it's data. It's really what we can do with the data that will drive the difference between a progressive company and a company that's reactive. And data is coming at us everywhere. We've all heard about the 3 V's of data: the velocity, the variety, and the volume. There's also another dimension to data called the veracity, which is how much of that data is true, how much of that data is accurate, and how much of that data is useful. So that's another aspect that we need to think about. Technology without operations is not complete, and the world is moving towards self-driving operations. We've seen that with autonomous cars, and that's the way IT operations are moving, towards self-diagnosed networks that can heal themselves and can run by themselves. And then, of course, IoT. Everyone talks about IoT, Internet of Things, Internet of Everything, which basically connects process, people, data, things, and things that were never connected to the internet before are connected today. You know, elevators, cars, lighting systems, buildings, healthcare equipment, everything is connected to the network today and to the internet. And how do you bring all of them together? And most of them don't speak the protocol that is used by technologists. So how do we translate the output that comes from these devices so that they can all talk to each other? And ultimately, the world of virtual reality and augmented reality is also here to stay. These are some statistics basically to show that everything is moving in this direction and everything is moving at breakneck speed. So what does that mean from an IT perspective as an operator or somebody who's a practitioner of IT? Here are some key accelerators that are going to define the nature of the IT organization in the future. You've got to be able to balance the investments in innovation versus the balance in what I call operational excellence. One cannot be compromised at the expense of the other. Both of them are equally important. We already talked about the speed and how speed makes a difference. The time to market is going to be more critical than anything else. So even if you put something out today, it's more important than waiting to have a perfect solution that you can deploy 2 months later. We already talked about the fact that our customers and our partners need to be delighted. Think outside in, think customer first, and make sure that the experience is compelling and the experience forces people to adopt your solutions. Collaboration is, for Cisco, is one of our key priorities within the company. The world is becoming more and more collaborative. The use of collaborative technologies is everywhere, and as the world gets younger and younger, the younger generation depends on collaboration for decision making, much more so than the previous generation. And then the key differentiator, any technology that you put out there really needs to align with the experience. Gone are the days when you actually pick the experience and then when looking for the technology. Now what you really have to do is make sure that the technology that you pick aligns with the experience that the end user is looking for. And it goes without saying that it comes with security. And ultimately, the better use of data analytics is so important because ultimately you've got to deliver the right decisions, the right information to the right people at the right time, on the right device, at the right place, so that they can make the more informed decision. And we talked about ubiquitous security, and that goes without saying. And ultimately, all IT organizations need to become the reference customers for their respective enterprises. We are lucky within Cisco because we are a technology company, and therefore the IT organization is given a lot of respect, and we call the use of our own technology as Cisco on Cisco. But we live in a world where not only your company technology, but there's also third-party technology that comes in. Both of them have to be integrated seamlessly. And which organization can do a better job of actually bringing that experience to its partners and its customers than the IT organization within each of your enterprises? So make sure that your IT teams spend time talking to your customers, asking about the experience, asking about the adoption, because they are the reference customers for our respective organizations. I think when George opened the session, he talked about the fact that one of the key priorities for Cisco is this whole notion of embracing a multi-cloud world. That is the reality that we live in today. There are private clouds, there are public clouds, and there are a combination of those which are what we call hybrid clouds. And it's so important that for every enterprise and every organization that we start leveraging all of those clouds together. One cannot exist without the other, and you cannot just pivot towards one of them and say, I'm going to ignore the others. Because the services that are being delivered by service providers around the world allows you to work across multiple clouds. And to be successful in a multi-cloud environment, there are 3 things that have to be done. It is an application-centric world today. Application is king. I'm sure you've heard these expressions before. And infrastructure is actually becoming more and more application-centric and software-driven, which really means that all the applications that we use within our companies need to be cloud-native applications. In this journey, there are three aspects of it. The first aspect is what we call cloud tolerant. Then the applications become cloud ready, and then they become cloud native. I'll talk a little bit more about what cloud native means. But the key thing is applications need to be cloud native to be successful in a multi-cloud world. The second thing is the fact that our infrastructure needs to be programmable. Principles of security, principles of assurance, principles of automation, all of those are embedded in programmable infrastructure that is software driven. We'll talk a little bit more about that. That's the second key tenet for multi-cloud. And then the third one is really the embedding of security top to bottom across the stack. The world that we live in, especially in an IoT kind of a world, where there are millions and millions of things and devices that are connecting to the cloud, it's impossible to chase the device from a security standpoint, because that's what you will be doing for the rest of your life. Instead, you've got to be able to embed security and policies at the infrastructure level across the stack, so it becomes much, much easier for you to handle all of those devices. So let's talk a little bit about cloud native, right? What are the principles of cloud native? It's very common for us to deploy applications today, and every time you want to make a change to an application, you've got to take the whole thing down. When you've got to upgrade the application and you've got to put new code in there, you've got to have downtime. The world that we live in today, downtime is not possible because our customers are going to get angry about it. So you've got to be able to define your application architecture in such a way that there is no downtime, or at least there's minimal downtime. High availability, superior performance, low latency, 3 nines, 4 nines, 5 nines, you hear all of this, all translating into increased agility for higher performance and stability. The first thing you've got to be able to do is to redesign your applications so that they can work in a microservices kind of an architecture that can be deployed across containers, that can work across multiple clouds, ultimately leading to all of these things that I talked about: better SLAs, performance, latency, reliability, security, et cetera, et cetera. The one thing we were able to do in Cisco as an example, and I'm just going to give you a few examples as I go along here. The Cisco Commerce Platform is our most important commercial platform. Cisco as a company generates about $50 billion of revenue in a year, and the $50 billion goes through our commerce platform. A lot of you as our partners use the Cisco Commerce Platform to interact with us. So the first application suite that we actually put through the cloud native journey was our commerce platform. The commerce platform has 4 million lines of code, has 36 different applications that connect into this platform, have over 40, 50 different business capabilities that support the function today. And this migration took us about 18 to 24 months. And today what we have is a cloud native Cisco Commerce platform that we use for our renewals that operates in a cloud native context or a cloud native paradigm, which means that when we upgrade the application with new software, we don't have any downtime. The architecture is modular. The performance is consistent wherever we are in the world. Whether I'm sitting at home, logging in through a VPN, or if I'm working in a hotel business center or an airport lounge, or I'm in my corporate office, whether I'm on my tablet or my laptop or my mobile device, the performance is consistent. For example, a page query takes less than 70 milliseconds, whichever paradigm I operate in. If I'm looking for any kind of information, there's very low latency. And today, when we actually upgrade the hardware or the software or the application code or anything like that, our users don't feel any downtime or any difference in the way this thing runs because it's been architected to work in a cloud-native environment. So let's talk a little bit about programmable infrastructure. Again, we talked about the fact that in a programmable infrastructure, which is delivered as a service, it is software-defined everything. And when you talk about software-defined everything, the first thing is about the infrastructure being open, having APIs that can connect into different functions and different applications. The second thing, it really needs to be modular and flexible in its design. Whether it's compute resources or network resources or storage resources, all of those need to be modular and can be scaled up and down depending on the needs of our customers. The third thing we are talking about is self-service. That is so important as we move towards autonomic systems, where we need to provide or actually empower our users to actually do self-service on this. They can request the environment that they want. That gets provisioned automatically. And this particular thing, they can pay for that service as much as they want. They can scale up, scale back down, and it just works. The experience, similar to what AWS provides or a Microsoft Azure provides or an internal private cloud from Cisco would provide, the experience is so critical, particularly when people are requesting for these kinds of services. And ultimately, it needs to be embedded with the right policies, the right security in there, and the right level of automation in order to drive analytics that can be used in order to let the infrastructure run itself. So this is something that we are moving towards, and today everything that we offer inside the company is programmable infrastructure as a service. I'm not going to get into the details of how it works, but needless to say, it needs to have a multi-cloud management platform that oversees, cloud-native architectures, has OpenStack built into it, that has software-defined networking policies that underlie this whole programmable infrastructure. Now, we earlier talked about the fact that multi-cloud is kind of here to stay. Now, multi-cloud can have different flavors and different varieties. At the end of the day, you need to have the ability to move workflows seamlessly across different clouds without any impact on the end user if you have the right policies built into the multi-cloud kind of an environment. These are just 3 examples here. As you can see between the blue box and the green box here, these are different cloud service providers. And you can actually segment your applications and put a part of the application in one cloud and a part of the application in another cloud. The data workflow can be on-prem. The machine learning component can be on a particular public cloud. It doesn't matter. I think at the end of the day, what the world is moving towards is something called cloud diversification, which allows you to put systems and platforms and applications which have been on-prem before onto a public cloud. And then if you feel 6 months later that portions of it need to be brought back into the company, you can bring them fairly seamlessly. That's directionally where the world is headed, as far as multi-cloud migration is concerned. So ultimately, this is what you will end up with. It doesn't matter if you are on a private cloud within your organization or if you're working with a public cloud outside. The application can be anywhere. The database can be anywhere. The workflow can be anywhere. It's just seamless. And if you manage security policies the right way, you should be able to live in this world fairly seamlessly and have no problems at all. So let's talk a little bit about another priority that I know was listed in the video that our CEO was talking about, which is reinventing the network. And one of the biggest innovations that's happening in this space is this whole notion of software-defined WAN or SD-WAN. And what is happening today is organizations are becoming more and more geographically dispersed. There is a central office, and then there are branches everywhere. Whether you're in a banking and financial services sector, whether you're in a healthcare facility, the fact is the branch offices are everywhere. And the connect between the home office and the branch office has always been heavy in the sense of bandwidth, in the terms of links that we have. And generally speaking, not everybody uses all the links that have been deployed all the time, which basically means it costs a lot of money to keep that kind of an infrastructure going. So how do you get into a scenario where you optimize the links that you have between a central office and a branch office and optimize not just the cost, but also deliver a better performance for the end users? And that is really the case for software-defined WAN or SD-WAN. And if you think about it, what it actually does, the innovation here that is transforming the wide area networking space, is the fact that you're able to use one of the links as the primary link, and instead of the traffic going back and forth from the branch to the central office and back all the time, you can use a direct internet access for a lot of the cloud-based solutions that are listed at the bottom of the slide, whether you're using Box, whether you're using Office 365 or Cisco WebEx traffic. So have direct internet access for those kinds of traffic for the end users. So that traffic does not have to come back into the central office and go back. And what that really does is it optimizes the bandwidth more effectively and to a significant extent reduces the cost of operating multiple links across offices. And today, this is one of the most requested technology solutions from Cisco, and obviously we have a Meraki version of it. We also have an acquisition called Viptela that's been used for SD-WAN solutions today. And obviously an integral part of this also is the use of software-defined access, which is contributing to the transformation of extranet spaces that Cisco uses around the world. I'm sure you've heard terms called borderless offshore development centers or borderless networks and so on. And what this has allowed us to do is after a very long time, we've been able to segment networks intelligently based on users, based on access requirements, based on identity and access, something that we could not do 10, 12 years ago. Today, we have the opportunity to segment networks to drive optimization of bandwidth, to reduce costs, and to deliver a better user experience. So another one of the priorities that was talked about was this experience for our customers and our employees. And Cisco has deployed something that we call eStore. It's another way of describing that would be iTunes for the enterprise maybe. But the fact is that we use eStore as a solution internally to handle everything that we do for our employees. It's taken two of our products, which is the Cisco Prime Service Catalog and the Cisco Process Orchestrator. And we've developed this thing called eStore that works across platforms. And we use this as a one-stop shop for everything that we have in the company. If I want to order a laptop, if I want to get a mobile device, if I want to get a license of Office 365, if I want to provision a development environment, if I want to request a virtual machine, all of it can be done here. It's self-service, and it's customized. And depending on who I am, we're now investing quite a bit on what we call customer segmentation exercise, which pushes content to the user as opposed to me trying to figure out where can I find things. So, for example, I'm an employee in the IT organization. If I'm joining Cisco today, the system recognizes that Gopal is an IT employee. He's joining the organization today. These are the solutions he will need, and therefore these get automatically pushed to his device instead of me going and looking for all of this. Has been instrumental in actually having a great software asset management policy and also makes it self-service and customizable. Another example I just want to talk about from an innovation standpoint. Cisco, as you know, has hundreds and hundreds of products. And if I'm in the sales organization, I'm really looking to find answers on anything about any of our products. I can't just go and Google this because Google doesn't have as much information about Cisco products as Cisco itself. I should be able to go to any one of these 20 things here, and there are 50 other solutions, but it's not physically, humanly possible to actually go and search for everything. So we did something called a Cisco Answers machine, which uses the principle of artificial intelligence and machine learning, uses natural language processing, and you can pose questions in NLP to this particular solution. It goes and it builds its own knowledge model, as you can see in that graph over there. It gets better and better with time, but ultimately what we want to drive is, again, provide this service to our entire sales organization, which is 20,000 plus people, where they can actually use the Cisco Answers machine to go find information. Not only will they get the information, but they have the ability to then connect back into the company to find better answers with subject matter experts. And obviously, the world is moving towards zero user interface. So we are also moving towards a voice Q&A. So we will have integration with Alexa and some of these other platforms in the coming year. We will also have APIs directly into Cisco.com so our customers can go and actually benefit from this kind of a service. That's just to give you a quick 2-3 examples on some of the innovation that we're trying to do within the organization. Now, we talked earlier about the fact that speed is everything, and the world is changing so quickly. There is one dimension which is probably the biggest problem in the world today, and that is really a shortage of talent. With technology changes happening so quickly, It's so important that we have the right talent in our respective organizations, because without that talent, none of this is going to be possible. So Cisco does these events called Cisco Live around the world. We do one in every region, one in the Americas, one in Europe, Middle East, and we do one in Asia Pacific. And in all of those Cisco Lives, we've got thousands of people who attend. And one of the questions that we always ask them is, which is the most important skill for IT professionals to have in the coming years? Interestingly enough, for the highest number, 42% actually said business acumen, which essentially means that IT professionals everywhere need to learn how to speak the language of business. Whether it's financial skills or commerce skills, it doesn't matter how technically competent a person is, they have to be able to speak the language of business. And that's turned out to be the most important skill. So as we go through any kind of transformation, any kind of innovation project, it's so important that we have the right talent, especially the talent that can speak the language of business. And then when you look on the right-hand side, these are some of the technology skills that are required. This is not an exhaustive list. These are just some of the technology skills that are needed. And none of those things there are a surprise. Ultimately, it really requires a nice combination of the technical skills combining with the business skills in order to make things work. So when you go back to your respective organizations, you've got to be able to ask yourself this question, are you attracting and recruiting the right talent? The world is now moving towards crowdsourcing. Gone are the days when you have a team and you say, this is my team, they will only work for me. Everybody wants to work for other people too. We call that dynamic teams. Some people call it crowdsourcing. At the end of the day, the younger generation, which is going to be part of the future workforce, clearly wants to work in that mode. They do not want to just work for one organization. They do not want to work only for one team. They want to be given the flexibility to work for other people as well. The second part of it is, are you managing the talent transition? It's very easy to say that you need all these skills, but how are you going to get people trained in order to be productive in these areas? And the sad part in all of this is your customers are not going to give you too much time. So you will have to figure out a way, how do you develop the talent organically by training, and where are you going to find talent inorganically? How are you going to go get people from the industry to actually become part of your organization? It requires some serious thinking. Then are you changing and transforming your own skills? Now, this is something that I routinely speak at universities where we go to hire new college graduates. And the thing that I always tell them is, assuming that a college graduate is about 22 years old, I tell them that technology changes are happening today so quickly, and technology changes actually happen every year. And if technology changes are happening every year, and you're 22 years old, and you have to work for the next 40 years, how many new technologies and how many new things do you have to learn over the next 40 years, right? The answer is it's 25, 30, 40 times. Does everybody have the individual stamina to actually reinvent themselves so many times in order to stay relevant for the world? That's very difficult to do, but that's the challenge that's in front of us, and we've all made the decision to be in the technology industry. So it's very important that whatever our age is, whether we are 22 or 35 or 45, 50, relevance to our organizations, relevance to our customers, relevance to the communities that we are a part of is so critical. Do we have the ability to reinvent ourselves and learn the skills that are so vital for us to be successful in the future? To me, I think that's going to be an absolutely critical thing that we really need to think about. So I just want to leave this slide with you. This is my last slide. I think at the end of the day, we all need to think about having a digital architecture for our respective organizations. All of our organizations are moving through a digital transformation journey. And at the end of 18 months or 24 months, and we don't have the ability to look beyond that simply because technology changes happen so quickly, we need to have the blueprint in place from a process standpoint, from a technology standpoint, from a people standpoint, in order to get to where we need to go. We cannot go to 2020 or 2021 and then say, oh my God, I didn't have the time, I didn't have the foresight to think about what my organization is asking me to do. The challenging part in all of this is if we don't do this as an organization, somebody else in the industry is doing it. If we don't do it as an individual, our peers and colleagues are doing it. So we don't want to be left behind. So the more you think about where we are headed, and a lot of those things that were highlighted in the earlier video, the fact that multi-cloud is here to stay, the fact is security is ubiquitous, the fact is customer and employee experience is king, the fact is we all have to reinvent the way we use the network, and finally we need to unlock the power of data, which is so critical to all decision making that is done across our organizations. So it's, like I said, it's a very, very exciting time to be in this industry. It's such a fascinating area to be in. The pressure is intense, but I would rather be in this industry than anywhere else at this point in time. So thank you very much for giving me the time. And I know Zhu is going to talk about unlocking the power of data. That's why I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the data element. So thank you again.
Thank you, VC, for giving us such informative speech. 谢谢 VC 为我们带来的精彩分享。接下来，让我们邀请到薛杰 VP Supply Chain Cisco Systems 来为我们分享 Unlock the Power of Data， 释放数据智能的创新力量。And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to welcome Mrs. 薛，请各位热情掌声欢迎薛杰。
Good morning.
Morning.
大家好. So it is my great pleasure to be here today to share with you in Cisco supply chain how we use technology that Gopal just talked about to really digitize our business operations, as well as really taking all the digitization that we've built to translate it into breakthrough business results. Before I go to the detail, I really want to thank our sponsors and partners and the entire Cisco Taipei team to put together this great event. Walking on the stage, I felt like I'm attending a rock concert, but talking about technology with all of you and really impacting how we transform the country, the society, and the business. So what I want to do is, I think you heard from George to talk about the overall Cisco company strategy and the direction we're going. You also heard from Gopal. I call him Gopal. I think he's being called the VC here, but I call him Gopal, to talk about the Cisco technology and how we develop these technology to help IT. I'm going to take it one level down to really share with you how we use these technology to translate into business results, right? So I like to begin with sharing you a story. August 2017, Hurricane Harvey hit U.S. Texas coast. And you can see the picture on my left. This is the largest natural disaster that hit U.S. It hit the fourth largest city in U.S., Houston. The estimated cost of the damage from this natural disaster was $125 billion US. So this is the largest cost disaster in U.S. history. What the picture shows on the right is one of the largest Cisco manufacturing facility. So we're impacted. In this region, a lot of people had to be evacuated, as well as most of the areas were closed, shut down for weeks. And we have our largest manufacturing center in the region. We have about 50% of our data center product that need to fulfill out of this region. As you know, we Cisco product are very configure our order. So we use this location to actually fulfill our manufacturing to the entire US as well as throughout the world. So we have really a disaster in our hand that we need to manage. During this shutdown period, we have about 2,000 customer orders that at the different stage within this facility, as well as we have 20,000 customer orders in the backlog that we're trying to process. Every day the facility shuts down, we're receiving more and more customer orders. And so how do we deal with this? So what we've done is, armed by our digital platforms that we developed throughout our digitization journey, we're able to have a full visibility on each customer order, where exactly they're at. We can direct our suppliers on incoming material, where it needs to be. It allows our supply chain professionals to be able to mimicking without actually going to the factory floor on what-if scenario planning, because every day we get more orders, and every day, we have more components coming in that we need to process and redirect. And so this digital platform really allows us to be able to mobilize our virtual team globally, be able to access information without physically being in the factory, and be able to run the scenario analysis to know exactly how we process the customer order, as well as how we communicate to customer the impact of their order. So the net result is there was no impact to our earning. There was very minimal impact to the customer orders that we committed, as well as we avoid the costly product redirect throughout this crisis. We were able to recover, completely recover in very short period when the factory opens. Versus our competitor, they have to report in their earning the impact of this natural disaster to theirs. So we strongly believe the digital platform that we built offer us differentiation, the differentiated competitiveness, and it's essential for our business. So let me kind of go back to the history and looking at how each time disruptive technology really changed the way we interact, the way we work and play. If you can look in the past of the history through each technology innovation, for instance, recently, telephone and internet, it's not only changing the way we live, we interact, it also creates what I call a democratization of how the information, how the material, how the decision, and how we human interact. So for instance, the internet that Cisco is big part of that invention really democratized how the information flows between B2B or customer to customer, consumer to consumer, and so forth. The social media really democratized how we communicate. Now within a click of a tweet, the whole world knows what's going on. So that really democratized how we communicate to the mass. And I believe we're just really at the tip of how AI can help democratize our decision making. So we really view digitization and taking advantage of digitization technology give us a differentiation. It's a core of our business strategy. I really like this quote. Basically, what it says is, for the company that you are ahead on using the digital technology to drive the business inside, you're going to really disrupt and then steal the business from the people who are not ready. So getting ready and take this as advantage will really help you get ahead of your competition. I want to share with you, kind of go to the supply chain professional. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the supply chain. I know a lot of you are CIOs and the business leaders. In supply chain, SCM World has been doing a lot of surveys to understand the broad supply chain. So they did a survey in 2018 to ask different industry supply chain professions from a C-suite to executives and managers of how digital makes supply chain more productive, right? And you can see one of the strong answer is, people think the most benefit is can help us to make intelligent and better decision. And also it frees up the time from people, transaction a lot of work and get to the proactive. And so I think this is a common belief within the supply chain. They also ask a question saying how the people in the supply chain orchestrate. People was afraid of the digitization, the technology replace a lot of works. As you can see, most of people really believe you can digitize and automate a lot of processes, but they still need a human, right, as an orchestrator to help make a better decision in all these supply chain functions, as you can see on the left. The next question they ask is how this integrated digital capability really enables supply chain. And you can see the number one people see is to create end-to-end visibility. Supply chain, we're touching a wider ecosystem. And so that visibility will really get you ahead of the competition. The second is the culture and the mindset that it's a flexible and agile. I'm going to talk also a little bit through our journey how we also think this is very important. Now let me kind of shift. I talk about kind of the whole industry, supply chain, how people view digitization, how they are getting ready to digitization. Talk about the Cisco supply chain, what we have been doing. Just give you some idea about the Cisco supply chain. We're global, and we manage a pretty complex ecosystem because we're 100% outsourced. We rely on our partners and suppliers and really have a complex ecosystem. We also not only deliver hardware product that cover most of our product portfolio, we're also delivering the security requirement, the software requirement, and now we're increasingly to play a role to get a Cisco product ready for the cloud. So our digitization journey is kind of showed here. It's really started with two main drivers. One is, in the past, we have really exhausted how much productivity we can gain from the program like Six Sigma, lean manufacturing, and so forth. We need a different way to bring, I call step function breakthrough productivity. The second is, early on, we have to go through our whole ERP system uplifting to the new system. And through that whole ERP transfer, we actually built a small team that has a knowledge to work with the IT profession. So I call them OT super users. So they are able to really help us to work with IT, continue transform our supply chain into more digital foundation. We then started really build out this multi-year roadmap and really started with building the digital foundation to get the data, right? We have to digitize our operation, get all the data. And we then really start digitizing our fulfillment engine. That is really build, ship to customer fulfillment side. After we digitize that fulfillment side, we start digitize our development side. The development side, what I meant is our interaction with engineering on the design of the product before we launch the product to high volume production. And after that, we started focusing last year on what we call orchestration. The orchestration we mean here is really to automate our workflow. Supply chain, we touch many, many processes and many workflows. This is to automate. We're really on the journey to automate almost every single operation. And we're driving is to eventually go to what we call an intelligent supply chain, which I'll talk a little bit in the detail. And what makes us successful throughout this journey is this integrated business architecture and this connected overall end-to-end view of how you map your process with digitization, and the strong partnership between supply chain and our IT organization. So this is kind of illustrate. It's a little bit of eye chart, but they kind of give you an idea. We look at all the supply chain key business processes, right, from helping our engineering to launch the product, fulfillment, quality, factory management, material management, all these standard supply chain core functions. And as I mentioned, we built the whole stack, starting with a data foundation, right, which is digitize everything and connected all the data. After that, we built then on top of it is the analytics capability. And after the analytic capability to provide the insight and the drivers, we want to automate our workflow. That's the orchestration. And as we're going through the orchestration, we want to build more intelligent so we can make a better intelligent decision, right, with all the technology. And you can see, you know, we're really on the journey. This is a multi-year investment, and we're very committed to that. I want to just touch a little bit about the technology we're using to digitize the supply chain. I show you the data stack, the analytics and orchestration we built, but we're leveraging different Cisco technology. One is the data, the analytics, as I mentioned, to really give us the real-time single source of truth information. We have a lot of data through supply chain, but many times it's not accurate, it's outdated, it really causes a delay in the decision making. And so that data and analytics platform create I call real-time accurate information. The second is the collaboration technology we have been building in. You know, now we have all the data, we have a decision, how do we collaborate and interact is a very key. The third one is IoT. In supply chain, we have a lot of things that we have to interact. And how can we unlock the potential of that to provide, for instance, some preventive maintenance, and how do we optimize our product delivery? Those are the technology we're using to drive the business result. The third is mobility. We have been applying a lot of the apps so people can access information anywhere, anytime. That's very critical for a quick decision making. Let me go down one more layer. With all these technology, what are the use cases we have been building, right? I separate that into the development supply chain and the fulfillment supply chain. The development supply chain, as I mentioned, mainly interact with our engineerings to really design Cisco product and then bring that product to volume production. And the fulfillment is the fulfillment engine to deliver that to our customers. In the development supply chain, we have been focusing on 3D printing technology and also the digital design. This is to ensure our design are in the 3D domain, as well as bringing our manufacturing rules and the capabilities to the designer. I call that bring the factory to the designer. So when the designer making a design decision, they understand the implication of the downstream, and then the downstream can provide information all in a digital format to our designer. And we found that that is very powerful. Not only we help the design, but we also keep the core data, right, through this design. The second is supply collaboration platform. When I talk about that Hurricane Harvey's use case, we actually use this supply chain collaboration platform to communicate to our supplier real time and remove Cisco as a middleman in the middle and passing information to let all the suppliers and partners to see the real data, right? And so that's a very powerful tool for us to communicate and do our planning. As well as in the fulfillment side, which I'm going to show a little bit detail on how we're managing our manufacturing quality, also delivery. Universal orderability is another digital platform that we leverage to really turn the turn around the Hurricane Harvey natural disaster, right? So here I just kind of summarize what overall benefit we've seen through our digitization journey. We see a 35% productivity increase from eliminating a lot of the manual paperwork, a lot of non-value-added meetings and passing things around and chasing information to slow down the decision-making. We also gained 40% on the capital expense saving through optimize the entire supply chain. And this is a very powerful because in Cisco supply chain, they're just like any manufacturing, we have a lot of capital expense. And we view this as a tremendous business value. The third is we are able to really deliver customer commit more accurately without recommit. I think some of you are our customers, you probably get frustrated when supply chain have to recommit your order. And so with these digitization capability that we're building, we're able to get better on getting the true commit to you and deliver the product to you. So let me give you two examples. One is in supply chain, we're leveraging the data, not just our own data, but our supplier data and the customer field data to really optimize how we test in supply chain. What we did was we connect the test and yield data from all our suppliers. We connect that data with how we test in our factory, as well as from what we see from the field, from customer. With that, we're able to make a real-time decision on how we're going to test. Do we test more to deliver better quality, or we test less, or we eliminate tests or go to sample tests? We're also able to give that information to our supplier so they can also streamline their tests, so they can deliver a better test to help Cisco improve a better customer experience. So this has been very powerful to help us not only reduce the capital, the test time, but also deliver a better quality result to our customers. The next example I want to share is how we leverage the data to really deliver better quality. Quality is a very important thing to Cisco. And what we realized in the past is we are doing a lot of the right thing within supply chain to build high-quality product. Our engineering are also doing a lot of good thing on the design of product and launch product. But our services interact with customer, see a lot of issues. And so we realize that the main capability we need is really connecting all these together. So engineering, supply chain, all can link and prioritize their work based on what customers see. Most importantly, our goal is to be able to actually sense what the issues in the field and in the customer and be able to prevent that from happening. So that's what we built, a single connected quality platform at Cisco. We also use this platform to break a lot of organization silos. Cisco is a large company. There are a lot of people working on different things. With this data accessible to all the engineers, everyone at Cisco, they can then extract the insight and take the right action all real time. And this really helps us improve the quality. So what's the future of the supply chain? We really view the next phase of supply chain is to build this intelligent supply chain. I view this as almost like an autonomous vehicle experience, where we can digitally sense the ecosystem and be able to use the data to drive a better decision, a better insight, and this is all powered by the technology. And that's the journey we're in. What's next? What we have been embracing is continue experimenting new technologies and then assessing that and bring that to our supply chain. And we are pretty proud to be the Cisco Customer Zero, working with our engineering team to bring new technology and test out in our own supply chain before we launch that product to our customer. And one of the areas we're working on is blockchain. And we believe the blockchain can really help supply chain to gain visibility to prevent counterfeiting is a big problem in supply chain. As you can see, it's a big loss to electronic industry, and we want to experiment to see whether we can use the Cisco blockchain platform. And so we have been working with our engineering team to build a blockchain-enabled node throughout our supplier base on an optical module as just our use case. Last year, we enabled all these nodes, and we already can see the business results. To be able to clearly know, prevent counterfeiting, have the visibility. It used to take us weeks, can be even months to figure that out, and now it just takes a click of a second and using a mobile app. So as you can see, we're continue bringing these technologies, evaluating these technologies to our supply chain. Next I want to talk about is just technology alone would not translate into a good business result. There are 4 elements. One is technology and the people, organization and processes, and the center is around the data. So we have been driving what we call the digital organization maturity, and then we map our organization maturity, continue driving this, so we're not only can report what happened, why did that happen, and when will that happen, and what we would do with that, and driving eventually to the intelligent decision making. I want to introduce what Tricia Wang told the thick data concept. When we look a lot of our digitization effort, some projects did not gain the business outcome that we were expecting. And so we invited her to Cisco to really help us to look the data in a perspective of big data and the thick data. The thick data is a small set of data, but it's very insightful. And with both angles, you can drive a tremendous business result and turn the data into the business result. So I want to really highlight the insight that she provided to us on the thick data. And she goes even beyond, like how we can be doing digital with the data to be in digital, right, with the data, and really bring the human intelligence and insight with the data to drive the business results. I mentioned that the people is right in the center. We at Cisco are driving our workforce 2020. Really, we have a multi-generation workforce, and how do we drive our organization digital maturity and really turn the technology into business results? We're focusing on changing the leadership behavior, driving a lot of the dynamic hybrid team versus the hierarchy, as well as encouraging risk-taking experimentation and agile innovation mindset. And that's really a critical element for our success. So let me end with our lessons learned. Through our digitization journey, we learned digitization should be the core of a business strategy. And if you don't have a very good strategy, you are going to really be left behind, or that can turn to really your business differentiation. The second is that the IT and OT co-innovation is absolutely the key. Through this process, we really learned how to work together with our IT department to jointly innovate, to turn the technology into business results. I talk about, we really believe this is our differentiation, and we'll continue driving more and more differentiations and deliver disruptive business results. I also want to highlight the importance of big data and the thick data, and that really is the key. The workforce transformation is absolutely a key. Don't forget the people parts and the organization part. I want to leave with you with the thought of unlimited possibilities. When I look back, when Cisco was funded, invented the internet, we only thought our goal is to exchanging information real time. right? We never thought about this social media, this AI, all these big data, all these innovations that changing how we work, live, and play. I believe the digitization, we're just at the beginning of seeing the power of a digitization. We, moving forward, will drive a lot of the impossible to be possible, and then the things that we couldn't even imagine that we can do today to be possible. So it's a very exciting journey, and I think this is a part of exciting time, as Gopal talked about, that we're experiencing in our society. So with that, thank you. 谢谢.
Thank you, Mrs. Shi, for giving us such informative speech. 谢谢薛姐为我们带来的精彩分享。接下来，让我们邀请到 Paul Rizzi, Intel Worldwide AI PG Director 来我们